Hey guys, Jeff with optionboxer.com. Got another video here. Wanted to share with you my trading journal. I've kind of created this on my own using kind of a group of different journals that I've come across over the past few years, and I hope it is useful for you. It certainly works for me. It's a work in progress. There's things that I'm changing and things that I see that I would like to have, or things that I think I could do better with it. But it took me a fair amount of time, and I've been using it now for quite a while. But I deleted everything out of here just so we could go through kind of an example trade, and you can kind of see how everything works. Before I get into it though, please know I'm not a registered financial advisor, and this is not a recommendation. Nothing in this video is a recommendation for you to buy or sell any security. Please make sure you do your own research prior to placing any trade, because trading is very risky and you can lose a lot of money, or you can lose some money, or you can lose the farm, and you get the idea. That being said, EEM is just a trade that I actually made, but it was the first one I made, so I left it in here. As luck would have it, it was actually a profitable trade. I feel like here lately I've been losing more than I've been making, but you can see that it was a profitable trade. This account is a smaller account. I actually started with 214.17 because I withdrew a fair amount of my money from this account, and that was just what happened to be left at the end of it. Plus I added a little bit more to make it kind of just a nice little play account, speculation, you know, throwing some money around just on lottery picks, so to speak. But for this one, so EEM, I got into the trade on 5-17. It was an option trade. It wasn't a stock, so this thing can be useful for stocks and options, which is pretty much all I trade. In the future, I may trade futures, not to be redundant there, but later on I may trade futures, and so I may add that as another investment type there and make sure it calculates accordingly. In this instance, it was a long call option, so I bought it. If I would have sold it, you can see the numbers would change across the board. But since I bought it, my per contract cost was 41 cents or $41. You can see here, if I put in 10, let's say, it will, you take your, I'm sorry, I got a little bit ahead of myself, but you can see here, if I change the number of contracts, the per unit amount stays the same, but my total changes. So I added that so you can see the total anytime you have more than one lot. And of course that will change your stop loss and your target profit numbers as well. In this instance, my stop loss was 37, target close number one was 49 cents, and then my more ambitious target was 62 cents. I actually got out of this one just before my target close. I left some money, I left quite a bit of money on the table on this trade, I remember it. But I got out at 61, so I made a nice little profit, and of course my fees paid, days held, it gives me the total there. And this column is fairly important. Just make sure you put closed. You can see here, if I type in open and tab over, it'll turn it blue, and that just the coloring is nothing more than, you know, if you get this thing filled up with different trades, it just makes it nice to see. So the color really means little to none. Just so you can identify in the context of, you know, hundreds of closed trades, which are all green, the blue just kind of stands out a little bit. But it is an important column to make sure you put open and close, so that way things on the summary tab are calculated accordingly. This tab is necessary. I'd like to do away with it for my individual journals, but I had to do something to get things to calculate appropriately here on the summary page. Because in my other journal I have all my accounts under one hood, and so I had different things going to different cells and different columns, and so I had to use that. So if you're just tracking one account, then you can just use TD, or you can just use whatever you want there. In fact, I would leave it as TD unless you're going to change any of the data on these other tabs, or really just the summary tab. For instance, right here, you can see I've got it specified for TD. So if you're going to change it to, you know, Robinhood, you know, you just need to make sure you come and check all these different instances where TD may show up, that it's being used to calculate appropriately. Just make sure you change it to whatever you put in this column. Right here is just an image that I link to. So when I do my analysis, I take a screenshot so I can kind of look back and this just gives me a nice way to add it here. I upload the file to my Google Drive account, and Google's a free account, and they give you 15 gigs of storage, and these pictures don't take up that much room. And then, of course, if you did hundreds of these, then it would become a problem, and you may have to either upgrade your Google Drive, or you could start deleting the older ones or the ones that you don't really need or don't think you'll need. And in any case, for me, and then you can just click it here. I just inserted a link. You can click it there and go back and look at it, and maybe start to uncover some trends or some biases that you may have in your own trading. To move right along on the summary page, the available balance would be your starting balance plus your profit and loss, and so that would be what you had. The capital in use would be calculated if, let's say, you had another position here, and I'm not going to fill it all in, but if you had an open position here, let's say you paid 0.50 cents, so 50 cents for a contract, and of course you got to do a buy, and it is an option. So now it'll say minus 50 here. This isn't being calculated anywhere but right here. So you'll see that it's just showing you that you've got $50, currently on, currently in the market, and it doesn't update live with the market. Maybe someday in the future I'll try to, account for that and calculate that in here so that this number will move up and down as your position changes. But that would require me to come into this reference tab and pull in some current market option data. You can see here I have the current ticker price. So if you ever want to see just what EEM is, real time, this is a live number that's being pulled from Google Finance. So EEM right now is sitting at 42.97, and every time you enter a different position here. So if I skip down again and I added Apple, let's say, now I could look over here at the reference tab and it would give me the current price for Apple or whatever other stock you're looking at. So just don't make any changes on the reference tab, because that will of course make changes that will affect the way things are populated and pull across one area to the next. Oh, didn't mean to delete closed. So I just wanted to delete that one. There we go. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the top little section here. And then of course, number of winning trades won. So I've got 100% win-loss ratio, which is this number here. I've paid $3.05 in commissions. So total fees paid would calculate there. If I had, 500 trades, this average fee per trade might be a little different if I traded Iron Condors, or if you're trading in Robinhood, it would be, pennies really, because they only charge you whatever the 2 or 3 cents per trade. Average days held 32, because I held this one for a little over a month. And then you've got your dividends, interest, bonus if you collect anything, or if you're given free shares. Robinhood I know gives free shares for people that join, if you get people to join and so forth, and you can add that into this column, and that's calculated by whether or not you put this in as a dividend. So now if I go to portfolio summary, you can see my dividend is 41 cents and so forth, but it is a buy, so we'll leave it there. And then of course my profit and loss $16.95, and that gets calculated into your available balance. And my portfolio percentage gain is 6.42%. In the future I may add some more metrics to kind of see my portfolio expectation out in time a little bit, but that's all in the future. So this is what I've got for now. Trade notes is, you can see I've already got one in there. I deleted it from the last screen that I had, but you can insert a link here, and you'll click insert link. Then you'll basically select a range of sales. You'll come over to the trade notes tab. You'll click there. It'll insert it there. You click OK. And now there's going to be a link there to trade notes AA1, and it should take a second to populate. It may not put any writing in there because I didn't have anything there to begin with. Let's see. So I have to actually put something in there. And then select a range of sales, trade notes, select that one, push OK, and then apply it. And now once it shows up, then you can click on the link and it'll take you straight to this particular page. But that's just a kind of a quick little lesson there. We'll delete that. And then trade strategies is if you come across anything that you think is interesting. For instance, in this case, search or scan for stocks making abnormally large moves, and maybe you can get in at at a particular entry, identify your entry and get in for a short-term play. And that's just kind of a little strategy that I may utilize in the future, and I wanted to add it so it's all kind of right here, and I'm not searching through notes or whatever trying to find something that may be helpful. In any case, hopefully that was beneficial for you. If you have any questions, or if you like a copy of this trading journal, feel free to reach me at optionboxer.com, or you can reach me by email at jeff@optionboxer.com. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to reach me. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.